afternoon, all of you. My name is Dr. Anandakumar. Here I am working as an assistant professor in philosophy of education. Today we talk about educational psychology practicals. Very particularly, psychology practical is very essential in the field of teaching. You may think about how the learning process is occurred, how we have to understand perceptual process, and some of the learning techniques is very vital role in the field of educational psychology. So today it's a very interesting one perceptual process we have to observe. That is we called as Muller-Lyer instrument. So this instrument we called as Muller-Lyer instrument. You know very well about perception. What is meant by perception? Thinking. Okay, perception is nothing about. It's a cognitive process. Okay, and if we have perception, then only we can clearly understand what is going on. Very particularly, if you are entering your home, you immediately perceive. Suppose the rope is there, you may perceive immediately, not rope like that. You immediately perceive as snake. So your fault not it is not your fault. So what you have to cost, you have to learn in your brain, immediately perceive. Someone is very rightly perceived. Suppose the problem is continuous in the brain process, but may have some very big problem. That is, may enter the psychological disorders. We may call the schizophrenia, hallucination, or sometimes if you are entered into the room, you may perceive in the shirt. I think maybe a strange figure is there. You just like immediately perceive just like a ghost. The ghost is there. How you have to suppose you go inside and touch the shirt and maybe you realize it. So, really, my shirt is there. No problem. Not ghost is there. What is this ghost? Why the ghost image is there? So we already deposited the unwanted impulse. That impulse sometimes maybe come out the figure. We are sitting here at daytime. There is no problem. Suppose the night time, exactly 12 o'clock. You just imagine, I am taking class here. Everybody, not 50 students, all are simply perceive that side is one strange figure is there, sir. I don't know, the figure may be something wrong, sir. Sir, you are taking also psychology. Sir, something wrong, sir. Very practically, when I was studying PhD in Gandhigram University, I come out from the lab and then one day I have observed in that Muller-Lyer. So I travel by scooter. The scooter is immediately. So I just turn on the back side. Nobody is there. Very dark. But Muller-Lyer near its own graveyard is there. And I know, so somebody is so now I just run the scooter, then one figure is immediately touching me. Really, I have perceived like this, but the touching person is who may think about. You are my friend. Thanks. How is possible? Okay, one auto driver is calling me. But what actually my thinking is that I work here, but my opinion on what that I perceived as the ghost is calling. Some people perception is wrong. Many time our perception is disturbed. We always we are in the classroom situation. One student is asking one questions, or some student is asking some clarifications. But we are not concentrating on all of it. But the teaching field very essential person. If you are very attentive, you become a good teacher. You can understand. Very simple. So always our perception is committed somewhere. So now this instrument very excellently Muller-Lyer is. There are number of perceptions. We may think about a very common mistake perception. We call it illusion. Illusion is a very big problem. In that illusion, number of types is there. Our always perception, illusion, optical fault. Suppose you see your face on the mirror, your images may be reflected. See exactly consciousness is working. But suppose that your face is not reflected, someone animal face or someone other face may be reflected. What do you think about? You are going to enter in the psychological problem. Very particularly, you are affected severe psychological problem. This is maybe be called as schizophrenia. Okay, so you may understand they are having delusion. So the reality is completely absent, and sometimes the person hearing some unwanted sound. So this is be called as hallucination. You may understand. So hallucination plus delusion we may call as schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is one of the biggest problem in the field of perception, very particularly illusion oriented. You may realize illusion oriented. So now you have to clearly understand. Now we go to the how our error verified by this instrument. Such a beautiful instrument name is this is Muller-Lyer instrument. You may here clearly see there are two lines. There are two lines. Like here one is arrow line. You see all of you? Yes. This one line is we may call it the arrow lines. This line may be called as you may see here this line may be called as variable lines. Could you understand? Variable lines. So this line always constant. We have to not change the size of the line. But this line may be easily changing by increasing the adjustment and decreasing process. Suppose the increasing process, this process we called as increasing. Do you understand? Increasing. This process we may call as decreasing. Okay, now it's clear. Is it clear, all of you? Okay, now you understand. So now I start the experiment. Please keenly observe, and if you may think about here, I put on this variable lines, this edge. When I move this ascending order, increase the size of this variable line, become equal in the standard line. You please report me immediately. Stops there. Okay. Suppose I move this ascending order equal size. This standard line you just compare. When this become in variable line such an equal distance, if I move this, to please say stop. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I start the experiment by ascending order. Very slowly you can do it. Any one of you subject, please report me. Don't say all of you stop, 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 stop. Okay, please stand up. Charlata, please come here. This Charlata, how we promoted as a subject. Okay, please come. Now the subject is as very clearly pointed out and ascending procedure. Now you pursue very clearly and report me. Okay. So Charlata is ascending, increasing process. That variable line. You wait. Please go. Now ascending experiment procedure is completed. Now descending process. This is all. In variable line, two series is very important. One is ascending series is completed, and the second step is descending. Now you clearly when the variable line is equal to the standard line, you have to report. You the same student and same subject we have to use this. Please. The same place you can sit. Then I move that descending order and you accurately perceive and report. Okay. Now the subject is committed both ascending order and the descending order mistakes. So very clearly, as this instrument, we have to display the committed error. Suppose very brilliant in the classroom situation, perceive correctly, that student get more marks in all examination. She is extraordinary quality. Suppose one student get ascending order correctly, then this when compared with the descending order, equal rank is there. There is no problem. Equal average mark got it. So, is by this experiment, you please understand the subject is committed both ascending order and descending order. Okay, so you please prepare this table. First one, how all are doing this experiment one by one, you can clearly understand. But before go to this table, you just understand here one procedure is followed. Very exactly Muller-Lyer diffusion chart we have. Okay, first one serial number, second one subject. Subject means that means you put on subject trials. How many trial? At least we need to verify 10 trials. If you do the 10 trials, definitely you will be assumed very what is the exact perception. Here itself you can identify brilliant in the classroom situation. Here 50 student is there, which I think one or two students exactly perceive. Perception is very, very essential for teaching and learning process. If you get a very little difference, first is 12, ascending is 12 centimeter, descending is 14 centimeter. In between this gap is 2 centimeter. If suppose reduce the gap means 1 centimeter means you are more brilliant. Suppose definitely it's not possible to 1 centimeter you will get it. Sometimes the student perception is very clear. Yes, accurately is there, sir. So that's type of wording come out now. That student maybe be called the leaders. In the classroom, we be called the leaders. He is intellectually depicted. Very accurate answer. 0.5 level, 0.1 levels. Very genius person. But we always looking on 1, 1, 1. Suppose the right person, or you may think about any one negative point. We may perceive the entire person's personality. We may consider that is also one type of that is called horn illusion. Horn means to make things the horn. The horn illusion, what sometimes people are talking, horn illusion means if you are doing or if you are committed any one mistake, we may perceive, the society may perceive as the person is very positive. So you create some wrong perception. Don't do like that. Don't be underestimated. The entire this is committed error. Okay, so you may think about this is ascending order, this is descending order, a difference. Finally, you get mean value. No, mean you know. Mean value, mean, median, mode. Have you know all of you? Okay. Okay, you can get it mean value. The difference is your difference. Suppose very minimum level or the classroom situation, you can clearly identify you are brilliant, you are brilliant, you are average, you are very poor. Like that is saying the teacher's identification is very good. So I go for a school internship training, you may clearly identify by these things. This is use the actually this instrument Muller, German sociologist. And I request one more important point. This is maybe called. You can see here what you perceive. What you perceive. You perceive correctly. Okay, you may perceive and few of maximum your perception is wrong. Few of accurately perceive will be called rapid. Okay, so now this figure you may clearly understand. This is called, any one of you please say. So you may see here, this is optical illusion. How, please perceive correctly all of you. This is a test for you. And report me. It is any movement is there? Somebody say movement is there. Somebody is saying. How many of say the movement is not going? How many of that one or this one? Some illusion is there. Please, anybody. You are confused. Okay. Now I just reply. the answer for your question. Scientists are believed if movement is going on, you are some problem with the perceptual problem. If you are perceived the movement is not there, you are very conscious and very clearly. But all the persons, when looking on this picture, some movement is confusion is there. Okay. Then you have no problem. This is an optical illusion. Is the verification. Okay. Okay. Then now we go to next. This is I'm saying practical interpretation. This is what you have to perceive. What is this image? You perceive as ghost. You perceive as ghost. You perceive as devil. Okay. What you perceive? This is good. Yeah. Okay. So this is a very beautiful girl and laughing face and pleasing personality. But we have to take the picture from the negative. That's main reason we appear on closed image. So many times we fall in perception. That's main reason committed error. If you are clear understanding in the perception, you become a good mark in your exam. Thank you all. Thank you.